In 1901, in the Sea of Antikythera of Greece, a diver found this mysterious object that is about 2,000 years old. Other experts say that it is 400,000 years old. Amazing. Welcome to Aarav Channel Watch, and I will explain to you what is the true story of the Antikythera mechanism. The Antikythera mechanism has long been hailed as a marvel of ancient technology, frequently referred to as the world's first analog computer. But despite decades of study and technological advancements in imaging and simulation, its exact purpose and level of precision remain a subject of considerable debate. A recent study adds a new dimension to this discussion, raising the possibility that the mechanism may have functioned far less reliably than previously assumed if it was designed to actually function at all, and multiple indicators that, according to researchers, could show the date on both Egyptian and Greek calendars, track the positions of the Sun, Moon, and known planets within the zodiac, and even predict solar and lunar eclipses. By any measure, it appeared to be an engineering marvel well beyond its time. Only one such device has ever been discovered, and that has fueled intense scholarly interest and a wide array of interpretations. Some propose that it was used by court astrologers, while others believe it may have served educational or demonstrative purposes. Still others suggest it was a prototype from an inventor whose full vision was never realized. New modeling reveals severe functional limitations. In a study submitted April 1 to the preprint server Aarav, a team of Argentinian scientists introduced a computer simulation of the Antikythera mechanism that incorporates both structural inaccuracies and the device's distinctive triangle-shaped gear teeth, the latter an element that earlier reconstructions tended to simplify or overlook. This simulation sought to replicate not only the intended function of the mechanism, but also the real-world implications of its imperfections. Because the gears were not spaced with exact uniformity, and due to the geometric effects introduced by the triangular teeth, the researchers were able to estimate how the mechanism would have actually operated in practice. What they found was surprising. The device could only be turned approximately 4 months forward before it jammed or the gears disengaged entirely. At that point, the user would have been required to manually reset the entire system before using it again. This finding calls into question whether the Antikythera mechanism could have been intended for long-term use. One possibility, raised by the authors of the study, is that the device was never designed to operate for extended periods without manual correction. It may have functioned more like a mechanical watch that periodically requires winding and adjustment. This would suggest that its builders were aware of its operational limits and may have factored the T into its intended usage. Yet this interpretation is at odds with the extraordinary complexity and precision seen in the gearwork. If the goal was merely to produce a demonstrative or decorative object, it is difficult to understand why so much care would have gone into such intricate engineering. The design includes dozens of gears, many of which are nested and coordinated in ways that suggest a serious understanding of astronomical cycles and mechanical principles. Fragment rear of the Antikythera mechanism, which consists of a complex system of 32 wheels and plates bearing inscriptions relating to the signs of the zodiac and the months. The simulation developed in the recent study was based on current measurements, but if the device's original gear placements and teeth were more precisely constructed than what survives today, its real-world performance could have been significantly better than suggested by the model. The researchers acknowledge this possibility, noting that CT scans can only provide a certain level of resolution, and 2,000 years of corrosion may have warped or distorted the components far beyond their original state. As imaging techniques improve and further computational models are developed, Researchers may yet uncover more details about how it was built and how it was meant to operate. Then again, they might discover that the results of the analysis by the Argentinian scientists is correct, and what they have is either a failed engineering experiment or a device made for fun that had no deeper purpose. Regardless of what the real answer turns out to be, it is clear that the Antikythera mechanism fascinates people today just as much as it did more than a century ago when it was first rescued from its watery burial. Fragments of the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek device long believed to be a type of analog computer, on display at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens. Shout out to my subscribers and followers on Facebook and YouTube.